Hello, my little woolly. In this tutorial, I'm sharing how to knit the Diagonal Flakes stitch pattern, similar to the crocodile stitch we learned some time ago. It's the perfect stitch for a cardigan or a sweater. This is why I have knitted a swatch, including a 2x2 rib, to recreate a sleeve. Additionally, it's a 4-row repeat pattern, 2 of which are plain purl rows, and the other 2 consist in a repetition of 2 basic steps. I'm taking this opportunity to show you a little trick when knitting the rib stitch, which you can implement for different reasons. It's called the twisted ribbing stitch, and the only difference that will work the knit stitches through the back loop in every odd row. When knitting the even rows, the knit stitches will be worked as usual. And maybe you are asking yourself why to use the twisted rib stitch. Well, firstly, because it makes the ribbing more robust. The stitches look smaller and more consistent. Therefore, you could use the same size of needles for the ribbing and the main parts of the sweater. Secondly, it's an easy way to embellish the ribbing because the columns of V's appear embossed, making the pattern more appealing. And finally, if it's difficult for you to control the tension in your knitting, the twisted ribbing can help you avoid loose loops. You'll be able to achieve more crispy stitches. So grab your needles and let's get started. For the diagonal flakes stitch, we need to cast on multiples of 4 plus 2. For example, 4 times 3, 12, plus 2, 14 stitches. And the first thing I'm going to show you is how to do this twisted ribbing. Super easy, just 2 rows for the twisted ribbing. We're going to knit the first one. It's like an edge stitch. And now comes the repeat. It's a 2x2 ribbing. Knit the stitch through the back loop, 1 and 2. This is row 1 of the twisted ribbing. And now purl 2. And repeat. Knit 2 through the back loop, 1 and 2, and purl 2. And repeat. Knit 2 through the back loop, 1, 2, and purl 2. If you have more stitches, keep repeating until there is only 1 stitch left, ending with knit 1, but only in this first row. Work it through the back loop, the last one, because so you can avoid a huge loop there. Second row, a normal 2x2 ribbing row. We start with knit 1, the edge stitch, and now we knit what we see. When we see the V's, we knit. When we see the bumps, we purl. So it's knit 2, normal, purl 2. Knit 2, purl 2. Knit 2, purl 2. If you have more stitches, keep repeating until there is only 1 stitch left, ending with knit 1. So these 2 rows create the twisted ribbing stitch. Repeat them as many times as you need them, and you will see how beautiful it looks like at the end. So now we're going to do the diagonal flakes knit stitch. As I said, it's a 4-row repeat pattern. So the first row is the wrong side of the work, and we just need to purl across. purl every stitch. Second row, we start with knit 1, and now comes the repeat, what you will find between asterisks on the written instructions. Remember, you can find this pattern on my website, sewwoolly.net. There is a link for you below this video on the description box. Just click there and you will access the written instructions. Okay, the repeat is: insert the needle from back to front into the strand between the stitch you already worked and the next one, and you will create a new stitch. Now knit 2, 1, 2, and pass the stitch you created, it's the third one from left to right, over these last 2. And knit 2. Let's do it again. Insert the needle into this strand from back to front. Give it a little tug to make it looser. Knit 2. Pass the strand over these 2 stitches and knit 2. And repeat. Insert the needle from back to front into the strand between the 2 stitches. Give it a little tug. Knit 2, 1, 2, and pass this new stitch over the last 2 and knit 2. If you have more stitches, keep repeating until there is only 1 stitch left and end the row with knit 1. Third row, exactly the same as row 1. We're going to purl every stitch. Fourth and last row. It's the same as row 2, but the only difference, we're going to start with knit 3. The steps will be the same. 1, 2, 3. And now comes the repeat. Insert the needle into that strand from back to front. Give it a little tug. Knit 2. And pass this new stitch over the last 2, knit 2, 1 and 2, and repeat from back to front. Give it a little tug, knit 2, 1, 2, pass the strand over, knit 2, and keep repeating until there are 3 stitches left, ending with create the new stitch, knit 2, pass it over, ending with knit 1. And that's it. These 4 rows create the pattern. Repeat them until the desired length is reached. When finished, bind off purlwise after a row 4. This is the wrong side of the work. And that's it, everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and happy knitting!